Thank you. Yeah, I first came from Istanbul to Berlin, and then from Berlin to here. So it's been a long journey, but thanks to all the organizers for inviting me. I come from Istanbul, and this is my university. So Istanbul is where I've been born and raised. I love my city, but it's huge. And that Sabanci University is technically at the border of Istanbul, and all the nice stuff is like 45 kilometers away. So if you do come, please visit those places. But if you do come to Sabanci University, let me know as well. So today I'll talk to you about the immune system, because as a genetic engineer, I work in the field of immunology. That's your immune cells fighting to save you from diseases, right? So you all heard some things about them, but I'm assuming no one in the audience is an expert in the field, so I'll take baby steps to walk you through. And I'll start by giving you an analogy of a house. So you all live in houses like this one, right? Or maybe a mansion like this one. Or since we're dreaming, we can say that you live in a castle, right? I love this one. I wish to visit one day. So this is a nice, cozy home for you. And think that you want to keep your house safe. What would you do to keep your house safe from foreign invaders? So there'll be sneaky guys like this one who want to steal from you, who want to hurt you. So you need to be able to feel safe, right? So you can build your house on a huge hilltop like this one and have water surrounding it, and maybe you'll be safe. But what else? You can have like laser beams that detect motion, for example, so that you detect burglars. Or you can have 24-hour CCTV to see what's going on, and you can detect them right away. And you obviously keep your doors and windows locked, right? That's the first rule, so that you can sleep well. So that's all about outside barriers. So that's what our body has as well. So in first look at your body, you'll see that you have all these outside barriers that keep you safe. For example, your eyes, they have tears, and tears tear apart bacteria. And before you know it, you'll kill the bacteria that want to infect you by the help of the tears. And you have mucus. That's kind of gross, but it's really helpful. You have it in your nose, in all the lungs, and all the openings. So it keeps the microbes there, trapped, so that they don't go further. So they'll be trapped there and can't move, and that's a kind of protection. So we're all covered with skin, and our skin makes sweat, and no one wants to live in sweat, so not many bacteria like to live there, and it's really safe. And also our stomach makes acid, and acid is not a nice environment for bacteria to live in, so whatever you digest, they can't live here. So you also eradicate them if they enter your stomach. So you've done all the things you can do from the outside, but what if someone enters the house? So who will protect you then? You will need some people in action to save you if someone's inside the house, right? So there, you need some security guards. So I call these guys security guards. I draw them all, so they're not perfect. Sorry about that. These guys are your first line of defense. So what do? They attack the bad guys if they see them. So they don't know who these bad guys are. They can't say, this is a virus, this is a bacteria, this is going to cause influenza. They don't know that kind of thing. They're kind of dull, but they're very useful. So they're your regular security guards, seeing the microbes, and as they see them, they'll say, we'll destroy them, and mission accomplished. So most of the time, you don't even wake up from your sleep, and this is enough. You're dealt with, and you can go back to your cozy life in your castle. But sometimes this is not enough, because viruses are sneaky things. They are really tiny. So we've talked about nanometers. They're like really tiny things that get into cells, and they'll destroy your cells. So all these happy cells, there's one among them that's infected. So for those who are not familiar with viruses, one virus is enough to get into one cell. So that little red dot is one virus. And it will make many copies of itself. Like thousands of them will grow in one cell, it will eat up its food, it will suck up its energy, and then they will burst out that cell, tear it apart, and then thousands of viruses will go to 1,000 more cells, and then you have huge amount of cells infected. So what do you need to do? You need to spot this infected cell, and you have to kill it. So we need some special agents for that. So color-coded here are your FBI agents, I call them, because they're specialized, and they got special training in one field only. So each one of them are trained to fight only one type of disease. So the green ones here are FBI Department of B cells, and the blue ones are FBI Department of T cells. And my focus of research is on T cells, the blue guys, but I'll quickly talk about what the green ones do. So in the Department of B cells, these guys make antibodies. Antibodies are these Y-shaped like that, and they are designed to go and match only one type of microbe. So only this guy here can make a matching antibody that will cover that microbe. And what good is that? Once that microbe is covered with your antibodies, your regular security guard can now recognize the virus better, and now it will kill it. So you're dealt with. But that's one side of the story, killing the virus alone. What's the other side of the story? It's the story of the poor infected cell. So there's this guy who's been infected, and there's not much we can do about that. So he is yelling for help. He's saying, hello, I'm in big trouble here, and if you don't kill me now, I'm gonna hurt others. So it's a huge sacrifice, but that cell is putting up a flag of infection saying, I'm infected, come and get me. And the T cell that is specifically trained to spot that cell is coming there. And if there's a match between their recognition sites, then the T cell will release nasty toxic stuff, and the poor infected cell gets killed. And healthy cells are saved, but that's the way life goes on. We need to survive. So that's how we deal with infections. So what happens in detail? So how do they know who to kill? If you just focus on their hands coming together, there's one receptor on T cell membrane that's an equipment that has a match on the infected cell. So they're like a puzzle match. And since they're matching, the nasty stuff gets released. But in healthy cells, since there's no match, your healthy cells are saved. So you just kill the infected cells in normal conditions. So how do they develop is my question, and my focus of research is in their developmental stages. So this guy, whom I call the almighty stem cell, is a stem cell. So I'm sure you've all heard about stem cells. They're miraculous, and they are a point of research in the field of biology in every aspect, in cancer and all kinds of diseases. So this stem cell is made in your long bones, in the bone marrow of your long bones, and it travels all the way to your thymus. And your thymus is an organ that's close to your heart, and remember that. It's right there, and it's a place for your T cells to be educated. So this turns into many baby T cells who are there for education. So this part, the thymus, we can call a T cell university. And these guys are freshman students. So they're first-year students. They're there to make many classes, but they want to party as well. They want to make friends. So we don't know how they're going to cope with that. So only a few of them make it to graduation, like many university students. So I'm focusing on what's happening in between so that we have these healthy T cells in our system. So each and every one of these graduates are responsible for recognizing different types of microbes. I mean, imagine you have one guy responsible for influenza, one of them responsible for one type of bacterial infection, one for, let's say, swine flu, one for your common cold. So you have all these different things you can catch, and you have all these educated FBI agents ready for you. And their one more specialty is that once you have that infection again in your body, they have reliable memory. So your FBI agents put up wanted posters in your body saying that if you see this virus again, you are going to kill it easier. So in a year, in 5 years, or in 10 years, you'll be happy to kill this virus again, and you won't be even sick. And thank you for listening. If you do come to Sabanci University, that's how our campus looks like, and I'd be happy to have you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Canan Sayitoglu. And I would say this was a really close match. It was a close match to 10 minutes and probably 13 seconds and 35 milliseconds, 275 nanoseconds. 2 minutes for you to discuss your vote.